Alright, welcome back. I have another tutorial for you guys. We're moving on to the next step. If you guys watch my other videos, I showed you guys how to carve out these bricks and then battle damage them and texture them and blackwash them. Now we're on to the painting part. I am going to feature two more videos after this. This one's going to be how to paint it the basic red brick color as well as a little bit of more advanced coloring to the bricks. And the next two videos after these painting ones, it's going to be concrete and sandstone, so stay tuned for those. And remember, as always guys, I have pictures of all the things I use at the end of the video, so if you guys don't catch the glimpse of what I'm exactly using, stay tuned for that. As you guys can see in front of you, I have the battle damage version of this, and I have just no battle damage on this one. So this one's going to be the basic red, and then I'm going to show you a more advanced technique with the plane so you guys know how it looks with the battle damage wall and then a regular wall. So I'm going to cut to the next step, and we're going to start putting paint applications onto these bricks. Alright, so what I have in front of you guys, it's just a plain paper towel down. We're going to start with our first layer, and usually the rule of thumb, if you're new at this, the easiest way is to go from the darkest color to the lightest color if you're going to add layers. But right now we're just going to apply a basic red brick color. The paint I like using, it's just a cheap paint that you could get at Michael's, and it's literally called Brick Red. So that's what I'm going to be using. And I mentioned this before, I like working out of the cap, especially if I have a small piece of diorama. So I'm just going to work out of the cap and show you guys a quick dry brushing technique that we're going to apply the paint to really get that texturing that we had used on these before. It's going to really make that pop. So for the dry brushing technique, you want to get some paint on your paintbrush, and then you're going to get a paper towel, or you can even use an old t-shirt or some newspaper or a piece of cardboard to do this. So you're going to get some paint on your brush, and you're just going to dab most of the paint off the brush until it's fairly dry, thus the dry brushing technique. And then you're going to go onto your bricks, and you're just going to slowly apply and lightly apply. Try to keep your brush at about a 45-degree angle, and just dry brush on there. Want to get some more paint on there so you guys can see it a little bit better on the camera. And the reason why you don't want to push too hard or go straight down and do it like this usually is if you did put texturing in there, if you're pushing down on it too hard, you're going to be pushing the paint into those nooks and crannies that you made, even the cracks, and then you're not going to see that detail. And I did add another 2 layers of blackwash to this from my last video, so it could get a really run down look to it. It will have a darker undertone to it. Alright, I'm going to switch to a closer shot of this, of me actually dry brushing it, so you guys can see how the paint's getting applied to it. Here we are at a closer angle. I just want to show you close up the paint being applied to it with the dry brushing technique. You can really start seeing the cracks and the texture that we put in before. You want to get a decent amount of coverage with this if you're just applying just this one color. The more the black you let show, the more damaged and more aged it looks. So if you want to stay a little bit closer to like it just being freshly battle damaged, you want to kind of do a little bit more coats and cover up that black mostly. Leave about 10% of it showing. I'm going to finish this one up, and you're going to see at the end of the video with just this one basic color. And we're going to move on to the next bricks that you saw in the beginning, and I'm going to show you a little bit more advanced technique to applying paint and the different tones of red on there, so you guys can have 2 different types. So if you just want to stay basic, you could go with just the brick red color and dry brushing on there. That's totally fine. But if you want to try your hand at something a little bit more advanced but also easy, you could try the next technique I'm about to show you. Alright, we're on to this step. I got both these pieces dry brushed with that brick red color that I said. This one right here is only about 80% covered. I left a lot of black to make it look really run down. And this one over here, I did about 90% coverage. There's still a little bit of black going on in there. Like I mentioned before, I'm going to show you a slightly more advanced technique to give your bricks a variation of reds in there, a lot of color, because if you go out and look at a red brick wall, there's very different colors around there. So I'm going to move this aside, and we're going to get right into this one. So for this this is, like I said, based with that red brick color. And we're going to add two more red colors into this, a slightly darker one and a slightly lighter one. So I'd like to go with the darker one first. And I'll have pictures of these paints and the names of them at the end of the video, so you guys can check that out. So like I said, I like working out of the cap. And I am grabbing a smaller brush than what we're using to dry brush, just to pick out these bricks. So I'm going to apply some of this paint onto these bricks. And like I mentioned before in my other videos, you're going to try to make a random pattern, because your eye does pick up patterns very well, and it's going to look off to you and to anybody that's looking at your diorama. So make sure you try to make it as random as possible. So I'm going to go ahead and pick some of these bricks out. You can dry brush with a smaller brush on these bricks. I just like coating them just with a smaller brush, just with a good coat on there. Like I said, you just want to apply this paint very carefully. You don't want to get into those cracks and cover up that definition on those bricks. Alright, I'm going to clean my brush off real quick, and I'm going to come back with the second lighter color. Alright, we're back. I got my brush all cleaned off. I'm going to show you guys this tone of red that I'm going to start using. And do remember, when you're picking, if you're not using these particular colors, you could change it up any way you like, but just remember, when you pick out colors, they do get a little bit darker as they dry, so that's something to keep in mind. So I'm just going to do the same thing as I did with the previous color and just pick out some bricks randomly. Just kind of highlight some of these bricks. And as you can see, it's already making a difference to the bricks that we painted on here. It really gives it some character. It gives it some realism. I'm not going to apply this to the damaged bricks, just so you guys can see the difference between the two types of painting, where you could just do the basic, just one tone, or you could go with these different colors. So I'm just going to touch up some of these bricks. So I'm going to finish this up, let the paint dry, and then we're going to have a side-by-side comparison. But as you guys can already see, it's giving it a lot of good detail to here. There's many ways to add different shades of red in here. You could do another dry brushing technique where you just layer the colors in a haphazard way. But I really like using this because it gives me kind of control of where the different colored bricks are. If I feel like trying to be really into it and spend a lot of time in making it look really good, you can come in here with some tans and some darker colors, or even mix some of your paints with black or white to make lighter tones of, different tones of red. But either way it works. I'm going to come back, like I said, with it all dried up and all done. Alright, here we are with both pieces. Both of them dry brush with that base coat of that brick red color. The one on the right here, has two different other colors on there, randomly put on some bricks to give it more realism and give it some character. I do want to mention before I end this video, these bricks were the ones that had the black wash with the water, so you guys just know what black wash was put on these ones, and this one was textured with that foil, if I remember correctly. I hope you guys enjoy this. Try these techniques out. Find me on Instagram and tag me in your guys' pictures that when you guys use this technique, so I can see all your guys' projects as well. And I hope you guys enjoyed. Don't forget to leave a like, a comment, hit that sexy subscribe button.